going on? It's your boy Andre out here with Bushido Black and Redbeard, aka Marshall, aka Tony, aka Damien, coming at you live with this podcast. Say what's up, everybody.
What it do?
Gang gang.
Yeah, so what we're basically gonna talk about now is the Legend of Korra. This is for those of you who don't know what he's been doing, on the rock or something. But for those of you, I'm just playing. For those of you who don't know, Legend of Korra is the spin-off. It's a sequel, spin-off-ish thing from the Avatar Last Airbender. If you don't know what that is, then I recommend you go and watch that. Again, that's the Avatar the Last Airbender. So if you want to watch
Don't watch the Shyamalan film.
yeah, don't watch the
Don't watch the M. Shyamalan.
Yeah, so we're just gonna talk about Legend of Korra. So, what were your guys' first impressions on it?
I was kind of surprised that they took it in more of a, because Avatar: The Last Airbender was more of an adventure kind of fighting anime,
Yeah.
and this one seems to be taking more of a kind of sports themed route, going with the whole professional bender league thing.
Yeah, pro bending.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty jumpy. Alright, and Bushido, what's up with that? What are you thinking about it?
I already saw almost everything. I think the first season is like fire. Like when you finish it, the second season is decent. It's not as good as the first one because at first the creators said like the first season was just gonna be just that one season, that'd be it. So I guess they just threw all their marbles on the table and stuff like that. And the third season was good. Like it's probably just as good as like the first season. Now the fourth season I haven't finished that yet, but so far it's pretty good. So I would give it like right now like the whole series like a B plus or like an A minus or something like that. So it's pretty good so far.
Like a good 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, cool. Yeah, personally, I was kind of surprised at how good it actually was. Because, a lot of, throughout cartoon history, spin-offs have been, having a bad reputation, especially at Cartoon Network with Teen Titans Go and, Powerpuff Girls. So, I never seen Legend of Korra except for like a few bits and pieces. So, when I watched it, with you guys for the first time, I was pleasantly surprised. It kind of gave me like a, I wouldn't say a Samurai Jack feel. I would say, I don't know, it was just a good continuation of the Avatar story.
Yeah, it took it in a new direction, but it kept the same kind of style to it. It kept the same kind of characteristics.
Exactly. It was pretty good. It was really interesting how they kind of answered a few questions that we had when Avatar was finished. Like, what happened next? What happened to Aang? What happened to Zuko? What happened to the gang? Just stuff like that. Pretty much gave us a good picture of what happened. After the events of Avatar, Last Airbender, transpired. Korra as a character, I really can't relate because, well, for one, she's arrogant, like really, really arrogant, and she gets herself in situations where her arrogance, like, it just messes things up for her, and it kind of. What were you saying?
I was saying, at certain points, I feel like her arrogance kind of led to some things that are a little cringy to an extent. Like when she first enters the city, she expects to get like free food.
Right.
Woman like has to yell at her. Like that moment kind of.
She was like, yes, food. Woman was like, no, what the fuck?
No, I can.
Get out of here, dumbass Avatar. I gotta feed my family.
She thought that like just because she stopped like 3 guys, so she thought it was okay that she destroyed like 5 buildings.
Right. Because she's the Avatar. That's okay.
Yeah, I really think that she's really like kind of like a good the polar opposite of like Aang, because like Aang is like more like on the spiritual side. He's more calm and collected.
Of course, he was raised. Well, I guess she was raised by monks too. Never mind.
Yeah,
I guess.
and Korra's kind of just like more hot-headed and stuff like that. So like I'm kind of glad that they didn't kind of go like the same route as like for like the main character and just have him like calm and collected and everything. Like, so
I think that was kind of the point, is to have like a different perspective on what if like this person was the Avatar, what if this kind of person was the Avatar, that kind of deal. Well, how would they use their powers? What would they do?
Yeah.
Speaking of being a dick, I feel like the like romance was kind of forced in the first season.
You mean
I don't know.
You mean for Korra? What you trying to say?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
the whole love triangle between the two brothers and Korra.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from for that though.
Is it like the entire love triangle happened in like one episode? Then it just kind of drops.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Hey, by the way, guys, spoilers ahead.
Spoilers ahead. Korra's gay.
He's not wrong, but yeah, it did feel kind of forced with the whole romance thing, because it was like Korra didn't like the guy. Like she didn't like the dude's brother at first, and she knew the dude liked her, and then all of a sudden she started liking the dude's brother when he was dating somebody else. So I don't know, maybe it was kind of like, you know, you want something you can't have type deal, but I also felt it was pretty forced because she didn't fuck with him at first. So
See
I
that?
didn't really
Just
get,
because he likes her, she decides that she likes him back.
yeah. He was like, I don't know. I'm a guy, a
I
teenage guy with emotions. And then she was like, I like that. And then the brother saw it, what the fuck? And that's pretty much how it went.
See, like the thing is, like I think the first season came out in like 2012. So back then I was like 12 years old, and I didn't really notice like the love triangle that y'all are talking about until like now, until y'all said it. That like I think that like if they just kind of progressed it a little bit like throughout the season or whatever, I think it will, I guess, make a stronger impact or something like that.
Yes, exactly.
I really like the animation though, and like the pacing's done very well.
Yeah, like the animation is way better than like the first series. Like I mean like the first season. I mean the first series came out like 2005 or something like that. So that
Animation's come a long way.
yeah.
It's 12 years ago. Good God.
So like so do y'all have any like favorite characters so far or something like that?
I got a least favorite character.
Okay, you can go first.
I really don't like the like little baby kid monk. I feel like he's like just cringy, and I understand he's supposed to be played for like comedic stuff, but I don't feel it. I feel like he comes off as just kind of like gross and weird.
Mm-hmm.
Gross and weird.
He's like if a neckbeard was like two.
Yeah.
Gross and weird.
My favorite character was the dog bear, because it's a dog bear.
Oh,
I
Naga.
would say not to like. Yeah.
My favorite character is Flashback Aang,
Flashback.
because I think that Aang should have been part of the Shakura. Nah, just kidding.
Well, well, you're gonna see, older Aang more like throughout, and you're gonna see like a lot more like older characters like throughout the first season, and like in the fourth season, you're gonna see like Toph more, but not like in flashback. Like you're gonna just see her with Korra and stuff like that, and Zuko's gonna be in the fourth season too. So yeah.
I thought it was interesting to see like the descendants of Aang and everything.
Yeah.
Just like them and how they do. I thought it was interesting seeing Aang go with guitar.
He came a long way. That's what I'm gonna say.
It was I saw bits and pieces kids now should like, they're like middle aged.
50-year-old man.
Yeah, like almost elderly.
Yeah.
So,
Cause like they were thinking that what's the name? The old well, not the oldest, what's the name? Tenzin Korra's teacher. The other kids were thinking that Aang liked Tenzin more because like I guess he was an airbender or whatever or something like that.
I remember that, but we was like, he didn't know he couldn't bend at all, which is really weird to add that, because the only person in Avatar that couldn't bend was Sokka.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember, that's the only main character that I can really remember is Sokka. So yeah, it was interesting how they didn't have like literally like any real main characters like introduced yet that couldn't bend, aside from Boomy, who was just like, what? He's like, what? Oh, I can't bend now, but later on I can. So yeah, screw that. And then the guys who don't bend, they're just like, dickheads. So no positive representation there. Like no both ends of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of bending, like I found it interesting how they combined certain different things into different bending styles, like electricity and stuff. I thought that was interesting to see. This is like working in the city doing that stuff.
Yeah, I think it's more realistic that way. Like kind of like if this world really existed or something like that, I think somebody would find a way to put their powers in like that, like in a good use.
Right. And I think that the fighting is really well choreographed. I say choreographed, it's a cartoon, but it's like the camera work is done well, and like just everything, just the way it's animated and everything, the different ideas they put into place during the fighting, I feel is done very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
It's very entertaining to watch. It's very fluid. It's very creative.
Do y'all have like any positive things to say about Korra, or do you think she's just a dickhead?
I think that she kind of grows slowly, but like she realizes what she doesn't like outwardly express it, but she realizes what she's doing wrong and she tries to fix it. I think that that's good character development.
Yeah, at least she tried to fix it. At least she tried something.
Like
I still think she
tries to help train, and she goes and trains herself. Because like at the beginning of the first season, she's all talking about how she doesn't need to train. She doesn't want to train. She thinks training's boring. It doesn't work for her. And then by the end of it, because of like all her friends and everything and the competition, she's training her ass off.
Like she matures like over time, throughout the series. Like she matures more, but she still has that little cocky and like arrogance to her. But she still matures over time though.
I like the like resurgence of certain themes, like the radio gets used a lot for different things, and like different specific pieces of music get used for certain events. I like it. I like the way they do that too.
So how do y'all feel about like the city or whatever? Like trying to make it. I wouldn't say like
it's more modern.
Yeah.
Which I feel is interesting because it is a very long time after Aang and all that took place, so it kind of makes sense. It's like generations down the line.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it because it's like it puts the people in a situation where they can utilize their abilities. Like
in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, in a way that like really makes sense. Like the only time we really see that is when it's like specific for like one group. Like with the waterbenders and their tribes and the firebenders and their Nazi-esque empire.
Yeah, and now all the different people are all living together in one, like I guess like New York Super Bowl kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. They learn how to like use those powers like together, make something good happen. So that's great. I like that a lot.
I think the show is a very good natural evolution from the original in both story and just all the elements and everything. Just everything about it's good natural evolution.
Mm-hmm. So, like, how do y'all feel about the villain Amon so far? How y'all feel about him?
He's kind of whack, in my opinion.
He kind of sucks.
Unpopular opinion time.
Yeah, unpopular opinions. The reason why I think he's whack is because he's really hypocritical, and that's what like kind of turns me off as a viewer, like especially when it comes to villains. Because I mean, it's alright with hypocrisy as long as it's controlled, but I'd rather have him, be a villain just because he feels like it, rather than him just sitting there and be like, oh, we have a cause, we have a mission, oh, we need to stop being oppressed by oppressing these other people. Like that's played out. We see that all the time.
I think those are the best villains, though. To me, I think those are the best villains, like the villains that think they're heroes in their minds.
I think it really fits the situation though, because like, again, with the Naziistic kind of the deal of just like everyone that isn't us is bad, generally.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that's that specifically is pulled off very well the way they do it, and I feel like just because he's a hypocrite, I think that makes him a better villain personally.
Yeah, I think
because that makes him more of an actual character instead of just bad person.
Yeah, cause if I think he went the other route, I think he just would have been too one-sided or something like that. Like, kind of like you can't really understand where he's coming from and stuff like that.
Which Avatar has always been somewhat of a character piece. It's always been about the characters and them interacting with their world.
Yeah, and like the other villains, like for one thing, like I don't know about y'all, but what I noticed and like the difference between like Avatar villains and like Legend of Korra villains is that like the Legend of Korra villains are a little more fleshed out, and like you can kind of get behind them, and like I think the difference between like Fire Lord Ozai and like the other Avatar villains is that like to me I think he's just a little one-sided, and you don't really understand where he's coming from. Like he's just a bad dude, but that doesn't really make him like a bad villain. He's still a decent villain, but he's just being bad just because.
Yeah. I mean, there were some villains from the original that were there was one villain. There was the one villain from the original series that was really fleshed out. Who became the character more as the series went on.
Oh yeah, Zulu.
Fire Nation killed my dad. Fire Nation is your dad. Star Wars.
We kind of saw like the flashbacks from like future Aang and Sokka and Toph and everything. So what do y'all expect to see from the flashbacks and stuff?
I guess I'm really hoping they don't go along the route of just like of using it to say like, here's a Deus Ex Machina of why this is happening, but like using it to explain like previous events is perfectly fine. Or like if somebody's telling the story and they use flashbacks as a way to convey the story, that's perfectly fine. But if they're using it as just like a whack reason for why some random shit's happening that shouldn't be happening, that's just I don't think that'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know a couple stories have done that in the past. That were good otherwise.
Yeah. What about you, Omar?
The flashbacks I really don't care too much about, to be honest. I mean, I don't know, I really don't have that big of an opinion on it. I mean, it's there, it's cool, but it'd be cool if it wasn't there. I mean, I really don't care. I just
kind of like unneeded. It's extra.
I wouldn't say it's extra, I just say that I don't care.
Yeah, to an extent,
Like when you keep watching it does have a reason for being there. Amon and what's her name? The Water Tribe dude that was like acting like a dick the whole time. What's his name? Tarlock or whatever. So it does play a part in the story.
Well, we haven't seen that much, but I'll take your word for it. I really don't know about the story. I just gotta look at some more. All in all, it's alright. It doesn't hit me as hard as the original Avatar did, but it still kind of has that feel to it.
I'm giving it a 6 out of 10, above average, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same here. It's like, I feel the characters could be a little bit more in depth. Because really have that storytelling that the original Avatar did, and that kind of bothers me a little bit. Like that with the main villain, I feel that personally, this is my personal opinion, I feel that it would have been better if he did it just because he felt like it, and he was manipulating the people to do it, and instead by saying, oh, here's this reason, here's why you shouldn't like them. But really, he's like just a dickhead. And I think that would have fleshed them out a little bit more because, there's a lot of zealots in, media and TV in general. And I feel that it's kind of cliche to have them do that. I feel add a bit more depth to make it true. But still, it's still a lot that happened, with those, extra people back then. So,
But
I would say that they did that route with the Fire Nation back in the original Avatar. But because they're like, oh, Fire Nation's better. We deserve this. They were just kind of like pushing like that. But I felt that they could have done something with the main villain a bit differently, like have it be a bit more manipulative, a bit more charming in a way. I think that would make him a bit more charming if he wasn't like, if he didn't fully believe in what he was saying, he was just doing it to manipulate people.
As it is, he's kind of almost verbatim the anarchist from Batman.
Yes.
Just a big guy wearing a mask saying, oh, the government's bad,
Yeah, fuck these guys. And then just like, yeah, we've seen that before.
But like in the real world, like people actually think that way. Like they actually think like their views are like make more sense or better than anybody
They think
else's.
that subjective shit is objective shit.
Exactly.
It feels of reals like a lot.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like I
See
think
that a lot in social media.
yeah. so I think that's one of the reasons why like I think he's like a cool villain. Just because like he just thinks his like opinion is better than anybody else's, I guess. But that's just how I feel. So like how do y'all? I'm sorry. What are you about to say?
I was just gonna say, to each their own, But
how dare you have an opinion? Fuck you.
Oh, so like in the I guess the third or fourth episode, they show how Amon can take people's bending away and stuff like that. So y'all have any predictions on how he can take people's bending away, or like how do y'all feel about him taking people's bending away?
I feel like as a storytelling thing, it's not the best route they could have gone on, but it's okay. Like it's interesting at least to see how they go along with it. I think he's probably gonna use some kind of like science or something, like he's using chemical gas or something, and I guess that would make sense. Because you said that like they have the gas or whatever, right? That like stops it temporarily.
I don't know. I think it'd probably be a bit more badass if he was like more like a trained warrior type. But because it really doesn't make too much sense to me how you just like take their bending, and there was no evidence like at all that shows that anybody could do that, and it just kind of popped up all of a sudden.
Yeah. Like everybody's all surprised about it though.
Yeah. Did they explain it later on though? That's the question.
Oh yeah, they do explain it later on in full detail and stuff like that. Like you get to see Amon's backstory and everything. So there's a reason.
Was he neglected as a child?
No, he was the first. No, he was.
The airbenders killed my uncle.
No, but he is a trained warrior though, and I wish I can tell y'all what happens, but so yeah.
Alright, I can get down with that. As long as it's explained in a way where it's not like complete bullcrap, and it's alright.
On some levels, it reminded me almost of something like a movie. Levels of just like design of like the way the story surrounds certain aspects of the world, like the training center and everything.
Any final thoughts on anything like that?
Korra is gay. That's all I gotta say about that.
I really don't have too much. I kind of wish that. Wait, do they add like a non-bender, like on the quote-unquote good side?
I gotta remember. Very quick.
I love how you're latching on to the fact that the show is bender racist.
No, yeah, like
non-benders are all bad people.
Yeah, it's like it's weird. It's weird because they don't like. I would like to see like both sides of the spectrum, you know, because there's no, or at least make it like a gray area instead of just making like, oh, these people are bad, you know, because that's not. We've seen that already.
Have you ever thought that maybe like benders were I don't know. I don't think this is the best argument, but I ever thought about benders killing like a bender's parent or something like that.
I mean, I can see where you're coming from because there is a lot of pain that you can see, like in a lot of there's like reasoning here and there that they can like be racist or like upset at benders rather. I mean, yeah, they do have their reasoning, but still, there's obviously going to be people who don't feel like the same way.
I know how I felt watching Get Out.
But racism doesn't really make that much sense anyway. So you gotta think about that. Racism don't really make that much sense. So
exactly, like there's always been benders, and people have always been okay with it. So all of a sudden, everybody's just like, "Oh, screw these benders! They messed up my home. Like they messed up your home like 100 years ago." And no, like you didn't care. Like it wasn't because they were benders; it's because they were crappy people, and people kind of got that back then. But now it's like, oh, let's blame
it was the Fire Nation, and they were different entire populations of people.
Right, and they were just like, I don't know. I guess maybe because it's a mixing pot now, they're looking for like somebody to point their fingers to. But
I think it's the same way as Star Wars. It's kind of like a political, like a different style of ending is almost a political standpoint. Back then, anyway, back in the original series.
Yeah. But I think it's a little bit illogical for like them to kind of like address like all vendors and label all vendors as bad when only like a few of them were like being dickheads. Like why not just say, oh, those people are jerks, and kind of put a hold on that hate. Like I just think the villains could have been a little bit more unique, or they could have been in like a gray area more than just like the good bad story that they usually do, because it's more complex time that they're living in. There's no good or bad. There's no separated factions. Everybody's mixed together. So why not use that?
Amon is kind of like a mixed villain though. Like when you keep watching, well, at least in my opinion, he is. Like when you see his backstory, you kind of understand where he's coming from, but I guess he's still kind of like a bad dude. But like you just gotta keep watching it. Really, you only seen probably like 5 episodes, so
basically all of our opinions are null because we haven't seen the rest of the series.
I'm not gonna say that, but
I'm not gonna say no, but you're wrong. The series proves it. Yeah, that's our first thoughts, though. At least mine.
Y'all wanna wrap it up?
Yeah.
Alright, so what you heard was the second episode of our podcast, Fresh AGC. We're coming at you with Andre, aka Shamar, that is me. And it was Bushido Black, and Tony, aka Marshall. And we spoke our mind. Hope you enjoyed.
Alright, peace.
Alright.
That was the best ending. That was the best ending ever, Marshall.